What's up, everyone? I wanted to do a quick update on the current FLSun printer we got going on here. In my previous video, I've made a couple of upgrades that weren't in that. First and most noticeable is probably the LED light you see right up here. Shines down on the build plate. And the second one, which is kind of tucked behind, but you can sort of see a little bit of it over here in the corner with the camera. I set up an Octoprint server so I can monitor this remotely and control it from my PC wirelessly through my home network, and control it from my phone while I'm out and about too, which is pretty handy, and monitor it obviously through the camera like I said. So let's get started with the light. It's the most simple thing. Basically what I've got here is a 12-volt LED light that is actually something I've had sitting around for a while. It's some off-the-shelf aftermarket tag light for a car. That's the beauty of these things running off a 12 volt, is you can pretty much take automotive accessories, lighting in particular, and run them off of it. And I have this tied in directly to the power supply back there via a switch that I had just laying around. This light I had just laying around, so no cost. A little bit of soldering for some controls. I printed out a box for the switch here, and literally just have a switch that kicks on with that switch manually, and it gets powered directly from the power supply in the back. So that's it. That shines, like I said, directly down the build plate, so that's pretty handy. The purpose behind that, not only just to see it when I'm here with it, but is to help me view the print better with the other accessory that I added, which was I had an extra Raspberry Pi sitting around that I used to use for my home theater system setup, and I recently switched to a slim desktop to use for that, so I had the Raspberry Pi kicking around. Someone across Octoprint figured I'd give it a try, and it's working freaking amazingly well once you get it set up and everything. It's connected to Wi-Fi. I have the blue cable, which is running over to the control board on the other side over there, and the white cable, which is running to a camera, which actually is a Ubisoft brand USB camera for one of the Wii games for my wife, one of the fitness exercising games she has that she hasn't used in I don't know how long, because I've got her a Wii U and she's gotten into other games with that. So this is kicking around in the closet, plugged it in, lo and behold, it worked. So that's what I'm using, and it works pretty dang well actually. It's not super high resolution, but I didn't really need anything high res. I just kind of angled it to where I could see the build plate, and then off in the background I could also see the filament as it's on the spool and going up through the Bowden extruder there. And there's plenty of YouTube tutorials out there about setting up Octoprint server. It's really not that difficult. I'm not super savvy when it comes to things like Linux and that coding and stuff like that, but it's got some basic coding that once you kind of just read the tutorials, a lot of it's just copy and paste. You can get it set up and running in no time. It's getting it set up to where you can remote access it from anywhere, not just on your home network, is a little more involved, but well worth it. And all the software is free. Octoprint itself is free. It's open source. And if you have the hardware sitting around, like I did, this Raspberry Pi 2B, I believe it is, it works great. It's a super cheap thing to set up. The way I have it powered, I actually have, you can see it back there, a 12 volt, like basically a car cigarette lighter that I have running off the power supply with a USB charging adapter in it. A little short, like a 1-foot USB cable running from it straight to the Raspberry Pi. So as soon as I flip the switch and turn the printer on, or flip the switch and turn the 12 volt power supply on, the Raspberry Pi gets power. It boots up pretty dang quick and connects to the Wi-Fi, probably maybe 30 seconds, and it's connected to the Wi-Fi and I can access it remotely. Usually I'm using my desktop PC setup over here, which I can show you that real quick. Oh yeah, I got a little bit of bitwit playing, sorry, in the background there. Basically you connect to it to your home network. You can use just the direct IP address for your Octoprint here, and gives you this little user interface. When you first open it up, you've got your temperatures, where you can set your temperatures and all that. Go over here to controls, and that's where I've got this live camera view, which is one of the main benefits that I wanted out of it. So to show me as it's printing right now, got all my, it'll actually show all your G-code files loaded to your SD card that is in the printer. You can actually quickly upload one from the PC itself too, which is pretty handy. Something I've just started playing around with is the time-lapse feature. I don't have any currently in there, but it allows you to take pictures. Right now I have this one doing a time-lapse video. It takes every 10 seconds, takes a quick snapshot throws it together in a little film that runs at 24 frames per second. This one you see here has got about 5 hours remaining left in the print, so it'll be a pretty short video. I may post one of those later on once I actually get a completed time-lapse video together. But it's really just, it's awesome. I don't know why it took me so long to find Octoprint and set it up, considering I had the hardware sitting around and the software was literally maybe 30 minutes worth of playing around once I got it loaded up on the SD card or micro SD card. But that's about it. And the Octoprint has really turned this into a whole nother machine. It's, you know, at first it was like a gimmick. I could show people at work, oh yeah, look, I can monitor my printer from home or from work or anywhere else while I'm out and about. The other day I was walking around the lake with my wife, and I just brought up my phone and check on this print real quick, and I see that it was still printing good. And then, you know, you go out to dinner and, let me just check it out real quick. You know, it's a 10-hour print. I want to make sure it's, you know, run out of filament or something, or I got a jam. And, you know, you can, if you do, you can quickly hit stop, and then you aren't wasting a bunch of filament. So, but it is nice to be able to remotely monitor and control it as well. So that's just a quick update. Not much else has changed as far as the printer goes. I am fixing to place an order for some more filament, and I'm actually considering trying to go to ABS and attempt that with this FLSun printer. So far I've only done PLA and PETG, and the PETG has been working great, but I want something that's a little more higher temp resistant because I want to try some automotive interior parts and see if I can't print some of those off. And PETG works good. I haven't cleaned these up yet. They got a little bit of string, and I might be printing it with a little bit too high a temp. But this PETG is very good. I mean, it's amazingly strong. Got a little flex to it. Unlike, you know, if you were to try that with, you know, PLA, it would snap. And these have a little bit of flex, a little bit of give to them, and they're a little more heat tolerant. Although I did do a boiling test with these, and they warp good a little bit. So I want to try some ABS on this FLSun printer, see how that works out. But yeah, that's about it for now.